Hey, blessings to all. This week's Parasha, Parasha's Teitzei, begins with the following pasuk: when you take the field against your enemies, you being a Israelite soldier, warrior, and your God, Yidke Vuvke, delivers them into your power, and you take some of them captive. Now, I felt it was very convenient to go through a commentary from the Holy Tzaddik, the pre-Tzaddik, the Tzaddik HaKohen of Lublin, as it is his Yahrzeit coming Motzei Shabbos, Tes Elul, and so on this first pasuk of the parasha, the pre-Tzaddik tells us the following. It says, when you go out to battle against your enemy. In this section of the Torah discussing optional war, the verse speaks of your enemy, corresponding to your enemy, and God would by this he means your enemy as in your person, corresponding to your personal enemy. Your is personal, and God will deliver him into your hand. If you do all that is stated regarding the matter, the end result is that God your Lord delivers them. God your Lord here is Yudke Vavke Elekecha. God delivers he delivers him into your hand. If you do all that is stated regarding the matter, the end result is that Hashem Elekecha delivers him into your hand, and seemingly no mitzvah is stated here, only the mitzvah of establishing justice. So what merit is there that because of it God will deliver the enemy into his hand? Also, the intent of the phrase against your enemy, corresponding to your enemy, needs to be understood. But it's said in the name of Rav Simcha Bunim of Shichu, may his memory be a blessing, that the pasuk, when you go out to battle against your enemy, its simple meaning is referring to the evil inclination, not just by way of allusion, but the plain meaning of the verse is so, as stated above. And this is that usually enemy refers to the evil inclination, as stated in Parasha Rabba. Also against his enemies he will make peace. This is the evil inclination. Now, the 7 nations of the land of Israel are the heads of the klipos, of the forces of impurity, the husks of impurity, and included in each one are all 70 nations, above whom it is said, you shall not keep any soul alive. But here in the optional war, it speaks about conquering the root of the klipos, conquering the root of the husks of impurity, which is the primordial sin of the serpent. And this is the matter stated in Kedushin, Gemara Maseches Kedushin, the Torah only 21 base. The Torah only speaks corresponding to the evil inclination, and it has no explanation why it permits one to surrender before. Stating from the Gemara, quote, the Torah only speaks corresponding to the evil inclination. That's something to really think about. And so it continues, and it has no explanation why it permits one to surrender before the evil inclination and listen to it. But the intent is that through this mitzvah, one will be able to nullify the root of the evil inclination entirely. And this is what is stated in the Sifri, against your quote, against your enemy corresponding to your enemy. It finds the redundancy of the verse puzzling. Against your enemy, obviously they do not battle loved ones, only enemies. Therefore it expounds that it corresponds to your enemy, meaning to nullify the root of the evil inclination. And it continues, and God will deliver him into your hand. Him is singular since it refers to the primordial klipa. And this is what is stated in the Sifri. If you do all that is stated regarding the matter, end quote, this refers to the end of the section where it states, and you shall burn out the innocent blood from your midst, etc. And it is stated in the Sifri, burn out the evildoers from Israel. End quote. The intent is that through burning out the sinful soul, this will help burn out all the evildoers from Israel. And it concludes, if you do what is right in the eyes of God, meaning that this will help straighten the heart so there will be a wise heart to his left, quoting Pasuk, a wise heart to his left. Also good so that it will be, quote, also good as it is written, quote, to the upright of the heart there is joy. Then the end result is God your Lord, Shem Elokecha, meaning the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, which is the master of your powers, delivers the primordial klipa, the primordial impurity of husk, into your hand. And so to end of the section in the portion of Amalek, it is written, and it will be when God will give you rest, etc., and from all your enemies around. End quote. Everything inclusive of three, as explained also, meaning from all your enemies, from all three heads of klipos, jealousy, the three heads of the husks of impurity, the roots of them, the main where we need to work, where we have to improve, where we're going to make our changes, is on the aspects of jealousy, these three things, lust, and honor, which are the klipas of Esav, Yishmael, and the primordial nations Amalek. I've read in the writings from Rabbi Yitzchak Maimon, Mishnah and Shlita, that Esav is reference to Christianity, and Ishmael is reference to Islam. So carrying on, it says, quotes around, for they surround Israel on all sides to trouble and oppress them, and corresponding to them are the holiness of the patriarchs, as explained many times. Quote, and it will be when God will give you rest, meaning on the Shabbos day, which is a day of holiness and rest, as it is expounded in Zohar Kudosh, in Zohar Chadash, 48b and elsewhere. Quote, on the day God gave you rest, etc., and from the hard labor. End quote. On the Shabbos day, and it is stated in Zohar Chadash as well, Shabbos is Sod Beis, the mystery of the three patriarchs, and the daughter adorns herself with them, and one then merits the holiness of the three patriarchs and is thus saved from the three klipos, the three main husks of impurity. Then you shall liberate the memory of Amalek entirely. And this is what it is said, the end result is that God your Lord, in the singular meaning of primordial klipa, the primordial husk of impurity, delivers him into your hand, as explained. This is an extremely lofty Torah that we've just gone through. And what I feel like it comes to teach us in our current generation, where we currently are, the three husks of impurity are probably more alive now than they've ever been before. Sadly enough, it's meant to be this way. There are evil creations in this world in which are causing of bad influence onto the Yidden, which cause us to fall in these three main areas of jealousy, lust, and honor. I've been told from a good friend of mine who is a Baki in the addiction world and rehabilitation world, that the main addiction he sees majority of Yidden going through in Klal Yisrael today is the addiction of lust, of pornography, of cheating, of all those horrible things associated with such, and that's really something. All these are main things that maybe a person has inside themselves, each to a very specific degree. People that are still associated with worldly things, with physical matters, with the most mundane things, Whereas the tzaddikim, they are most focused on yichudim of tshuva, of completely changing over the Yetzer Hara into Yetzer Tov, as is our avoid the asshole that we should be doing. And it's by getting away from these three core husks of impurity, that of jealousy, lust, and honor. Each of these, they're mamish, they're what drive a lot of Yidden, a lot of Jews, a lot of people in the world today. And so when it says here, you shall obliterate the memory of Amalek entirely, this is what we can achieve. Us, each personally, as an individual Yid, what we each can achieve personally is to obliterate the memory of Amalek entirely from the world, and it is all just by doing this avoider of mevatling, of self, of nullifying the inner corresponding emotions towards jealousy, lust, and honor. There's a lot to say on this topic. There's a lot that could be said, a lot that can be discussed. But for now, Shabbos Kodesh is upon us, and the Gula is upon us, and all we can do right now is this avoider of nullifying these three things within ourselves. When we do this, we will, as told from the Tzaddikim, we'll be able to obliterate the memory of Amalek entirely from the world. So that also means it will be as if it didn't ever exist. Amalek, the Yetzer Hara, the Sitra, Achna, Nachash, these things it'll be as if it wasn't ever here. It's going to be obliterated entirely. And we're going to be living as if it wasn't ever here. The same way we've experienced the world going from complete darkness, from complete utter chaos. There's been complete utter chaos in the world at many points. The Second World War, the Holocaust, the expulsion from Spain for the Yidden. Many things have gone on for the Yidden, where we've gone through extremely painful and enduring times, which have been done by the forces. And now we find ourselves as a nation in a position where we can take it upon ourselves at the hardest possible point, spiritually, mentally, that we can now take it upon ourselves. We're in a space of time in the world. We're existing in a place where we have complete, utter freedom from any of the klippos to really go and be mevatel to them, to nullify them. It's been a long time coming, but we're here now, and this is the void of now. This is what we have to do. We'll also see, if you want to think of an example, we had the COVID situation come up, and while it was here, while it was happening, while it was new in the world, shall we say, we went through it. People went through it the way they went through it, and now we live in a time where it might not even be a thought in a person's head. They might not think about it on a daily. It's as if it wasn't ever here. That's how it's going to be with Amalek. We're going to obliterate the memory of Amalek completely. This is going to be the Gula Metz Hashem. We should all be Zoche, Metz Hashem. The Shabbos should be a Shabbos that brings down a lot of Shefa, a lot of Bracha, and we should all be Zoche to nullify these three things within each and every one of us. Metz Hashem, a beautiful Shabbos to all.